Bryce Gorman. I'm the fundraising educator for the Indiana Historical Society, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the brewing industry of Indiana and beer. So, cheers to you. That's quite good. Goodness, that's hot. Man, that's hot. Before Indiana became a state, this is what most beer looked like. You know, pretty big, heavy, corks, all that, not easily transportable. And before the 1850s, we didn't really understand what yeast even was. So we had no way of transporting big quantities of it. And I still have pepper in my mouth. A lot of people made it at home. A lot of the German settlers of Indiana would just take all those ingredients I talked about and let wild yeasts that are already in the air and in the grasses ferment the boil. And what you would come out with was something that was safe-ish, but at the same time a little bit sour and a little weak. So you really didn't see beer as often sold on in big productions. You saw inns, large farms, they would make big quantities of it and sell it just in their shop. And wow, the drink of choice was actually bourbon. That was much easier to transport, and being so close to Kentucky, it was the drink of choice for a lot of people. It wasn't until about 1814 that you even saw a commercial brewery open up in New Harmony. Most of the breweries that you see in Indiana start from the German settlers. They were using their recipes, but you also saw a lot of Belgians. You saw English, Irish, Scottish, some from Liechtenstein, Switzerland. They would open up small shops, but it wasn't until the 1800s that you saw commercial breweries open up. Around the 1830s, before the Civil War, after Indiana became a state, you saw a couple breweries open up that are of note. One is the first brewery in Indianapolis. It was opened up by German settlers, and it was known as the Indianapolis Brewery. And there were actually a couple places called the Indianapolis Brewery. But this place opened its doors roughly where the convention center is now. And they lasted from about 1834 till about 1840. Turns out when you make a dark bitter beer, you just don't bring a lot of people to the door. But with the National Road opening, it brought a lot of commerce, a lot of industry, and people wanted beer. Now go to the western side of the state. Terre Haute opened a brewery with Chauncey Warren, I'm reading a note here, and Demis Deming. They opened a brewery just about the same time, and through a bunch of consolidations and all, it becomes the Terre Haute Brewing Company. It's fairly popular. It grows and it expands, but it's in around 1904 where they come up with Champagne Velvet. It is the beer with the $1 million flavor. And I just love that tagline because I think it's so fun and goofy at the same time. Anyways, Terre Haute Brewing became a phenomenal success. This beer and all their other lines, they sold remarkably well. And Terre Haute Brewing ended up selling, they were the 7th largest brewery in America at that point. You compare that now, it's about the size of like a Sam Adams brewery, so it's just huge. And people loved it. Around the time of Prohibition, they had to close down. They had to sell cereal and all that, and grain. Just didn't succeed. Afterwards, they come back with Champagne Velvet. It does really well. Then the company folds. And they sold this label to a whole bunch of different breweries over the years. It became like a malt liquor for a short while. And then it just kind of disappeared until Upland took it up for their 15th anniversary. And it's been a very big success. Thank you. Turns out this won't help with hot stuff. This will.